We were not really shocked or surprised to find these terrible conditions in which black people lived in this country. But we put actual faces on the problems by going out through the country and by the work that the commission did. And we also saw what hostility there was in the country. We met right away after the president appointed us, and we set up a series of 20 days of formal hearings where we heard witnesses all the way from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to the head of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover. And then we broke up into teams and visited riot cities ourselves. And we said that that the terrible conditions gave rise to these protests and riots, that any spark could set off the violence. The underlying causes were racism and poverty. The most famous words of the commission were these: our country is moving toward two nations, one black, one white, separate and unequal. And we recommended new national programs, particularly around jobs and education. It was controversial. My own father, a small farmer in southwestern Oklahoma, he said, what you're saying is that a person like me ought to pay more taxes to help poor black people who are rioting in Detroit. That's the way a lot of people heard it. President Johnson was convinced that there was some organization, some conspiracy, some planning behind these riots, which had occurred in cities all over the country, large and small. Later on, the president began to change his mind. We made progress, serious progress, on virtually every aspect of race and poverty in the country for about 10 years after the Kerner report. For example, we were very steadily reducing poverty in the country. The findings, of course, are still quite good, and the recommendations as well. You're not going to have the kind of stable society of self-esteem unless we have a good deal more equality in this country. America is founded really on the idea that all of us are created equal, and we ought to have equal opportunities for the good life. That was certainly not true then. It's not true now.